So I was just thinking about some people that betrayed me. My eyes are kind of fucked up. I just took a shower. I was more so thinking about some people that are still in my life now. You know, why are they the way they are? You know, it's because they're jealous, because they've given up on themselves. What I want to talk about is, you know, living a life of excuses. I have every reason to live a life of excuses. I have every reason to be fat right now. You know, when I was 13 years old, I worked out for 2 months and got in shape. I didn't have to do that. You know, when David Goggins was 16, 17 years old, he couldn't read or write. When he was 24, he was nearly 300 pounds. And look who he is now. He had every excuse to be 300 pounds. Can't read, can't write, living a life of misery. I had every excuse to live a life of misery. Justified excuse. But all these other people, the reason they're that way, disrespectful, ungrateful, all those things, is because they like it. The misery, the suffering, the drama, they like it. You know, that adrenaline and those high emotions, it's addicting. It's addicting. I used to like it as well. But look at who David Goggins was, and look at who he is now. When you're that fat, lazy, miserable piece of shit, going from that to that seems impossible. It looks impossible. You think it is impossible, but it's possible. People never go from this to this because of that life of excuses, because of those highs and lows, that addicting drama, the addicting emotions. It's important to cut off those people if you want to change, because they'll never change. And if you want to change, I just want you to realize that it's possible. You know, the things that seem really hard, they'll get you somewhere. I know it's easier to just live a life of excuses. So many excuses as to why you can't do something, why you can't wake up and strive for those goals. And those people that never get up, look where they end up. 9 to 5, fat, lazy, miserable. Same person they were 10 years ago. Before I ran 5 miles, I thought it was impossible. Before I ran 10 miles, I thought it was impossible. Before I ran 15 miles, I thought it was impossible. How can you run 15 miles at one time? You know, that's something that you only see on TV. And I did that. How do you go from not being able to read and write to being this hard guy at 50 years old, saving lives? How do you go from fat and miserable at 13 to jacked at 14? It's giving up the excuses and putting in the work, believing in yourself just a little bit. So do that then. Believe in yourself, give up the excuses, and always love yourself.